Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a good Christmas day. That that is Screech. Screech has a soprano crow, right? Screech, are you soprano? Well, I hope everybody's doing well again. I just wanted, this is an evidentiary video. I just want to show you. Now, I haven't showed you this before, but I'm going to show you what the criminals did. This is a shed that I had custom built by a company that works with Amish. This is the same shed. When I went in here over the summertime, somebody had poured grease underneath my plastic containers, 3 of them. I have photographed them, videotaped them. I called the sheriff's department about somebody breaking in, stealing, and vandalizing. They took the report, but nobody came out here to videotape or photograph it. But this is the outside, the underpinning, okay? The underpinning. And this symbol here is exactly the same cutout on one of the chicken feeders, exactly. This one I tried to cover with some tape. They did it again. Here. Here. I already taped this up, coming down. But what I want to show you is I came out here to do a little raking. You know, to rake up the bitch crap that they spread around the property rather than pick it up by hand. And I noticed that this is the 3rd large solar light that was torn down. No wind. And this area here, there's no wind over here. So, there. And there it is on the floor. Torn down. Now, see, this is the thing. If for some reason it would have detached from the solar panel, it would not have detached from the tree. It was screwed into the tree by 4 screws. I'm only seeing 3. But it was, here, look. See, there you go. That is the 3rd solar, this is the 3rd one that has been torn down. 3rd. Okay? And of course, this happened over the holiday. So I've been raking up leaves over here. But again, here's the 3rd solar light. And basically, this is what they're doing. And this is my take on what they're doing, what I've noticed they're doing. I listed my property for sale. As soon as I listed it for sale, they started going through the bucket list of all the things that I improved to the property, they started to destroy. So they started taking down the solar lights. They took down 2 big ones out in the field here. That's also because, you know, these creepers, the people that hang out on my property all day long, stalk me, harass me in their cloaking suits, they can't get cloaked by solar lights, especially at night. They go off. The lights detect them, and they stay on a long time, long enough for me to see if there's an animal or anything else. And there almost always is not. So again, that is more evidence of them stealing, taking down the solar lights. I know this is very time-consuming for me. I have other things to do. I don't know anybody else around here that has to continuously redo all the work they do to their house in such a short period of time. Well, now look at this. Look what I found here. A zip tie. Now, where in the hell did that come from? So evidently, I zip tied something and they removed it. And this is how they sliced all of my tree trunks here. And they sliced them. These were like really, really pretty. Very pretty. Nice place to sit. I painted them. The chickens hang out here. But these criminals have sliced with their energy weapons all around all of them to cause them to fall apart and look unsightly, and then they're deliberately rotting them out. And you could see that they're actually scraping the paint off of the bricks here. So I'm going to walk to my gate. They're my birdies. They go for their little morning walk. They're so funny. They've got their own routine. They go around eating bugs. They'll go walk around. Then they'll go back to the coop and hang out for a little while. And they did the same thing with this tree trunk. I had to remove this tree when I moved here. And they have totally destroyed this tree trunk. This is deliberate, by the way. Look. Because it looks really unsightly now. First they took all the bark off of it, and then they started picking at it with whatever energy weapons they use. They started digging up around the trunk here, causing ruts. You can see it's down to the rock. And for that person that says, oh, you've got a sinkhole, that hole that they dug for me, you have no idea what the soil is like here. You can't plant on this soil. That's why I have raised garden beds. I have to bring in soil to plant my stuff because the ground is hard as a rock. The reason? Because there's all rock underneath this grass. All rock. So the person that said, oh, that's some kind of night woodpecker. All right, I might have come from the city, I might have come from New Jersey, but I'm not an idiot, okay? This was done by some energy weapon. Okay? I'm going to show you. I'll just give you a little bit more evidence, okay? A little bit more evidence. Now the person had the audacity to say, oh, it's because the former owner was old. What does the former owner being old have anything to do with vandalism to a tree? That's not a woodpecker. Okay? Oh, and here's your 3 mason. 1, 2, 3 masons. Look. So the tree goes from being fine to being not fine. I don't know of any nighttime woodpecker, and guess what? I could see this tree from my house. If there was a nighttime woodpecker, don't you think I would have heard it? Seen the nighttime woodpecker? Are you kidding me? This is not a nighttime woodpecker. Like, I have to tell you, I mean, are you a perp or something? Like, what the hell? So, they're doing it actually to all the trees. So they gutted this tree here. They're doing it to all of my trees. All of them. They're picking at all my trees with their energy weapons. Look at how they gut the trees from the inside out. From the inside out. Because they're trying to flood my property. Make it look unsightly. Here, look at this. Look at what they've done here. I'm sorry for the rounds, guys, you know, but I wanted to show you that the solar light was taken down. That is the 3rd solar light that has been taken down. And here are more branches. No wind, no nothing. And I'm here every day. Every day picking up branches. Where are they coming from? Yeah, no, they're coming from the criminals on the property using their energy weapons. They just go around zapping branches off of trees. That's what they do. That's what I'm convinced that they're doing. So I know, and I'm so glad that I'm posting these evidentiary videos because so many of you have spoken out that this has happened to you also. Perp alert, perp alert. There goes a perpy derpy doo. And that's what happens when I'm recording and a perp drives by. They drive by really fast. But otherwise, they're creepers. They'll drive by, they get to my mailbox, and then they start creeping. They'll drive like really slow. Right? Really slow. So now that's the third solar light, and obviously I haven't put back the other two yet. It's very tedious and time consuming. I've got to take out a ladder. I've got to take the light apart. I might not be able to reuse the same screws. I mean, literally, every time I put up a light, it's like an hour job. I mean, it shouldn't be, but it is. Hi, you came to visit me? Oh, somebody got pooped on last night, huh? You got some poopies on you? Oh no. What happened? Oh, here they come. Look. Here they all come. I mentioned to you guys that a lot of times when I walk back and forth to the mailbox, I've got my guineas on patrol squad following me. They're so funny. See, here they are. My guineas on patrol. My little watchdogs. And they are watchdogs. They do alert me when there's somebody on the property. But most of the time, like, I can't see what it is that they're looking at. Because it is one of those cloaked persons. But the guineas know that somebody's there. And they stalk it, whatever it is, right? The person. And they do this at night. It's like a habit where they start running up there. But I think it's a ruse also because there are two people on the property. So one is up there and the guineas are surrounding whoever it is. And then while I'm watching them do something, the other creeper is behind me. Right, guys? Where are you going? You going bug hunting? The after Christmas Day bug hunt. They're so funny. So what did you guys do on Christmas Day? Did you cook? Did you stay home alone? I know that so many targeted people are home alone, but I mean, a lot of you guys are married also. So I'd like to hear how your day was. And here's the wonderful slop mess that Judge Gabbard approved. Judge Shane Gabbard. He's what's called a judge executive. It's not a judge that you go into court and see. It's like he's like an administrator, okay? I don't know why they call him a judge. I guess that's what they do in small towns. He's an administrator. He's not somebody that makes laws, okay? Thank God. Thank goodness he doesn't make laws, okay? But he does make deals for the county, and most of them are bad. Like, do we really need, like, a sports complex in this tiny town when we've got all this criminal activity here? All this criminal activity. And yes, I wrote to 2 investigative journalists last night about real estate mobbing. I want them to talk about real estate mobbing and how it's covered up by the sheriff's department and how the whole community gets involved. I gave them a little information about real estate mobbing. Oh, well, look at all these tree branches that are down here, right? This is what happens, like the witches, the Freemasons, they come onto the property. They're destroying like every part of it. And you could see here, I don't know if you could see, this is like all raked up. I should have tons of foliage here, and there's none. So here, this is the Freemason Y. They always leave a Y around. I don't know why they leave Ys around, right? But they're Freemason losers, and we've got 3 such cult lodges around here. 3 cult Freemason lodges around here. And when I moved here, I was living at the top of the hill, and somebody pulls up in my driveway and just parks there. So I walk down, The guy's looking like right through me. He's got that evil blank stare of a Freemason. I said, hello. He said, well, why did you approach my car? I said, because you're on my driveway. Like these entitled people, why did you approach my car? You're on my friggin' driveway, parked right here. He's right here. And I was up at the top of the hill. I walked down and he's parked right here with a brother. They always drive around with somebody else. They always drive around with another guy in the car. These people, they don't drive by themselves. They always got a backup. Anyway, so so that was when I first moved here. And when I first moved here, I had somebody else approach me, introduce themselves. I won't say who. But he said, I just want to let you know that that barn down there, the one that I don't have anymore because the county flooded it out with negligence and refused to reimburse me for it. Yeah, the county, Judge Shane Gabbard, because his culvert was pointed towards my barn, flooded it out. 100-year-old barn had to be taken down. No replacement. Oh, but they'll put up a sports complex. Sports complex in this town of under 800 people. Big. Yeah, and then he gets funding from Stivers. Stivers, you should only know. That's okay. I will be contacting you also. All you guys over there that are giving money to this town while they're torturing people for profit, you'll all be contacted. Yes, so I want 2 investigative journalists, and I've got another interview set up for January already. So we're going to get the message out there, men and women, about not only what's happening to me, but what's happening to you. Because what's happening to me is happening to you. Some of you are just fed up, exhausted, tired from speaking out because nothing's getting done. Well, I'm exhausted and tired too, but I'm never going to shut up about this, what they're doing to me. And the fact that I have so much evidence of my neighbors' harassment and nothing's being done, I guarantee by 2025, I will be on the news. We'll be on the news here about my neighbors and the sheriff, the cover-up, the conflicts of interest going on here in Jackson County, Kentucky. I want to contact a news reporter about real estate mobbing that's happening across the country, depriving people of their rights, having morons stalk and harass to move you out of your property. Now, back in the 70s, this was called block busting. It was actually done in apartments. And what they would do is they would have very similar noise campaigns and stuff. So let's say it was an older person and they wanted that apartment because it might be a rent-controlled apartment, right? So they'll try to mob that person out, get them to move. And then as soon as they'd move, they'd jack up the price or give it to one of their best buddies. Just like they did it when I sold 52 Sutton Drive in Manalapan, New Jersey, Monmouth County, in a home I lived in for 30 years as original owner and renovated it from top to bottom, improved it immensely, and even added an addition onto it. It was purchased by a cop. Yeah. Whittled down the price and then gets his 2% loan because coppers get these special loans that the rest of us don't get. Yeah, did you know that? At least back then in 2019, they got a special 2% loan when the rest of us were stuck at 6% or more. And of course, that was extremely low. I purchased my first property with my ex-husband. I think the interest rate was like 16 or 18%. So people complain and stuff, but of course, then the property values were lower, and you could actually purchase a home for a lot less money than you're purchasing today. And then you add on the 16 or 18% back then. It was a lot. So, people complain about the 6 or 8% interest rates on loans, but hey, coppers can get 2%. So anyway, block busting, they were doing this in the 70s. It was becoming very pernicious, and people were talking about it. People were being ousted from their homes because of harassment. As soon as they were ousted, they would raise the rents significantly and then have somebody come in or push everybody out and sell the building to a developer. And that's actually pretty much what happened when I lived in Kew Gardens, Queens. I lived in a gorgeous pre-war building with my ex-husband. It was the first thing that we purchased. It was called a co-op back then. A co-op is when you buy shares of your residence. And I was actually on the co-op board interviewing people coming in. And I actually sold my first co-op there, flipped it into another co-op there, and then sold that co-op to the doctor that delivered my daughter in the hospital. Yeah. How interesting is that? But, so block busting was outlawed. You can't mob somebody out of their home. You can't mob somebody out of their rental. Okay, so those laws were in place. And now there's rent control and all that stuff. But now they've taken it to another level. Now they're doing it to people that own property, own land. Then they'll mob them out. They figure if they make it bad enough, they'll just abandon their property and they'll encroach on it. They'll be squatters, and they'll never get it back. I mean, you hear about this stuff in the news. Well, I'm not leaving. You're kidding me, right? Like, I would never leave my animals. And plus, I don't give in to Satan. I don't give in to peer pressure. Like, ask my daughter. She used to say it to me all the time. We were driving. I was driving her back to university back in New Jersey. And I think it was, Route 287. We're driving, and... I was driving probably like 5 miles above the speed limit, which was more than enough. And cars are zooming by us. And I turned to my daughter. I said, do you think I should speed up? Like, everybody's driving so fast. She turns to me and she says, Mom, you've never been the kind of person to give in to peer pressure. She's got the best one-liners, I'm telling you. Best one-liners. But getting back to real estate mobbing, nobody's talking about it enough. I want it broadcasted. I want all of the influences out there to talk about real estate mobbing. They're talking about the diddler guy. They're talking about the Trumpster. They're talking about January 6th. Let's talk about real issues that are affecting everybody. Let's discuss real estate mobbing. And real estate mobbing affects not only targeted people. It affects everybody. It affects people who are senior. Let's say a spouse dies. And then these criminals prey on people who live alone. So I want anybody that's out there that listens to this, that wants to discuss real estate mobbing, let's have a conversation. In 2025, we're going to put real estate mobbing on the chart. Everybody's going to be talking about what happens to people when they own homes. Because when you own a home, you have to pay property taxes. You have to perform all the repairs yourself. And then when you list your house for sale, then these criminals go to the listing, go down the bucket list and start destroying everything that I did. And I'll show you here. And this is a pattern that they do. So now all of these beds I put in here, these raised beds here, and there was no soil in there. So I put new soil in every year. Soil, mulch, peat moss, all of that stuff. Not mulch on top of it. Well, lo and behold, the criminals have put rocks. You see those white rocks? Those white rocks belong on my driveway. But they're now in my garden bed. And all these holes here, I have videos showing how beautiful the grass was 2 years ago before they did this. And I can't plant anything here because whatever they put down here is poison. Slime mold and poison. I've purchased so much grass. I've spent about $300 on grass seed that I have spread everywhere, and it doesn't germinate because they put slime mold everywhere. Here, this is it here. This is all slime mold. I believe they're dropping the slime mold by a drone. And again, this is real estate mobbing. So I look forward to questions and comments down below. For those of you that own property, leave a comment down below. For those of you who lived in the 70s and experienced blockbusting, leave a comment down below. How you were mobbed out of your rent-controlled apartment, or if you know somebody, you know, parent or grandparent or whatever. Let's have a conversation about this. People should not have to deal with this because of disgusting neighbors or people that want to profit off your misery. And look, I have too many roosters, guys. Look at them. 4 were born last year. 4. I thought they were all going to be hens. No, I'm stuck with 4 more roosters. Right, Guinea? We got 4 more roosters. Okay, let's say goodbye, YouTube. Bye.